everybody, Mike Portnoy here. It's raining on the streets of New York City, as a song once said. Anyway, the origins of Liquid Tension Experiment, I suppose, goes back to where my relationship with Magna Carta Records began, and Pete Morticelli and Mike Varney over at the label. And my relationship with them began in 1996, I believe, when they called me to participate in the Rush tribute album that they were doing, Working Man. And that session was the first time that any Dream Theater members had sort of left the family for an outside environment and to do an outside session. But in any case, that session was really great for me because I worked with Billy Sheehan, and Billy and I spent almost a week together in San Francisco, working out the tracks, playing together, getting to know each other, and you know, messing with the arrangements of the songs for the tribute album. So in any case, that was a great experience, and it was a lot of fun to work outside of the normal confines of Dream Theater, which I had become so accustomed to for 10 years at that point. After working on that project with Billy, the Magna Carta guys came back to me and said, well, how'd you like to do something else? And they offered me the opportunity to put together a project with the players of my choice, and basically asked me for a wish list of all the different players I'd like to work with. And after months and months of phone calls and certain people being available and certain people not being available and aligning different schedules, finally, towards the end of 1997, to make a long story short, we found ourselves set up and ready to go with the lineup of myself, the great Tony Levin on bass, who I had always wanted to work with, always admired all of his work, obviously with Peter Gabriel and King Crimson, but then also the stuff he did with Pink Floyd and Yes and John Lennon and Paul Simon. Obviously he had the experience to really play with anybody. On keyboards, I chose Jordan Rudess, who to me is the most amazing talent to have ever touched a keyboard. He's just an absolute, total, intense prodigy. He was admitted to Juilliard at the age of 9, so it gives you an idea of the type of player he is. After going through a big list of guitar players, and none of them ever quite panning out, my wife actually suggested to me to consider using John in this project. And at first I wanted to keep the project completely separate from Dream Theater, but on second thought it really made a lot of sense, because John and I have had such a long history together and such a writing chemistry that we figured it would really enhance this outside project, and ultimately it really did. So I'm really glad that John ended up coming on board. So the project kind of started almost as a solo project of mine, but it was obvious the minute that we started collaborating that it was going to become a full collaborative band type project, and that's exactly what happened. And once we hit the studio, we had 1 week to create music that was intense, eclectic, instrumental, and always exciting. So it was a great experience.